Are you ready for the ultimate bikepacking weekend adventure? Join us for an unforgettable self-supported bikepacking trip through Southwest Virginia. The Grayson Gravel Pie Bikepacking Adventure travels along the Virginia Creeper Trail, the beautiful gravel roads of Grayson County, Virginia, and the New River Trail. All lodging and camping arrangements are included, along with daily routes and guides riding along with you. This self-supported adventure offers resupply opportunities every 20 miles for your food and water needs. Find out more at graveltraveldirt.com.
You're listening to Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brian.
And I'm Wes.
And I'm Jess.
This is episode 166 of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. If you're new here, this is the podcast where we talk about gravel bikes, adventure biking, bike packing, bike camping, or just playing bikes. Is everything okay?
I can't hear.
You can't hear? Well, it is what it is. Can you hear okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. now that Jess can hear, you know, Jess, how are you? No, you can put their headphones on. It's okay. I know you like to use them. How are you guys doing tonight? I always like to ask that now.
I'm great.
Okay.
That's nice, Joey. Very nice. Thank you for that statement.
I'm tired.
You are great.
You know what else is great? Cutaway
USA.
Because they offer premium cycling apparel born in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Cutaway is an industry leader using innovative fabrics combined with clean and bold designs. Make sure to visit their website at cutawayusa.com to see all of their cycling apparel, gear, and such. When you reach the checkout, use code GTD20 to take 20% off your entire order. Now, that is an offer that is a special discount just for our listeners. I am amazed every week that we get to continue offering that. That's just amazing.
That is really cool.
And I'm excited. I can't wait to get our new Cutaway kits and jerseys. When do they show up, Joey? Sometime soon?
Yeah, in the next, I would say end of the month, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I was actually waiting for it to be a little bit longer than that. That's good. That's cool.
I'll ask Philip. I actually don't know.
What about a hat update?
So if to update folks on hats, because I've been getting messages. We had some sneak images. We're just not wearing hats now. No, I'm just kidding. No, so John and the Dirtbags got us our hats, but we had a small little issue with some of the patches on the hats themselves. So John has those right now. He's sewing on the patches, make sure they stay nice and put. And then other than the not going to the Hootenanny, I would have had them back yesterday, 2 days ago, but he's sending them down to us. So
we've had a few people that have actually asked us to make sure to hold on to some hats for them because they want to buy them.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
So
that's nice.
We need to make sure that we've gone through and collected.
This dog waits till the podcast starts.
Oh, the dog is like quiet and sleeping and like down here doing nothing. As soon as we hit that record button, he knows. He's trained now. He knows.
He is trained. He can jump through a hula hoop.
He's trained to our podcast voices, I think.
Yes.
He's like, why is nobody talking to me?
So let's share our Hootenanny. Hootenanny was awesome.
It was. My legs did not hurt as bad as I thought they would.
I was fresh at the end
I was
of the
very
day.
fresh.
You guys are liars. You lie like a rug.
Well, no, we did actually go to the Hootenanny.
You don't understand what we were doing.
We just didn't make it more than like 12 miles up the road before we had to turn around.
We were on our way at 4 a.m. I called the technical difficulties, but we had a nice breakfast in Solomons, Maryland. I was waiting for Jess to check the GPS like at 6 o'clock, and you're like, "You're Roy Rogers?" Yeah.
Well, it was just one of those things that just
Life happens.
it wasn't in the cards.
Wasn't in the cards.
Wasn't meant to be.
Wasn't in the cards, and I have definitely, most assuredly, had a lot of angst over looking at all the amazing pictures because Instagram has been just flush full of wonderful.
I thought you were going to
Hootenanny
say
pictures.
something about the Roy Rogers. Like,
No.
I've had lots of indigestion from the Roy
No.
Rogers
Oh
or
no,
something.
that's some of the best breakfast down here.
No, the pictures that I see in all of the reports from Hootenanny, we missed something special. Sorry about that hush money. Sorry, Nate.
Sorry, everybody.
Sorry,
Father
everybody.
Dave.
Sorry that we didn't get the opportunity to enjoy
Like
that.
we were saying, no way I would have been able to do the whole ride, and I wasn't planning on it. But you know,
it is
what's done is it's over.
Yeah, I did go up.
Folks who wallow over the past need to grow up.
No, you can't do that. I did go up. I actually got a hold of Jerry And Jerry and I did a little canal ride. Jerry's getting back on the bike. Very excited for Jerry to get back on the bike. But Jerry and I are going to go do a little bike packing trip in a couple of weeks.
And then I go, boo, scare you guys.
On the canal. That would be a lot of fun if you did show up. But I think you're doing something.
I got plans coming up.
Different. What are you guys doing that weekend?
It's my birthday weekend, so I am going to Vegas.
It is Joey's birthday weekend.
But you're not going to Vegas.
Going to play go-karts.
We're not going to Vegas, but
Just-
we're going something close to Vegas.
What are you doing?
We're doing the Grally Cat.
Nice.
I'm very excited.
Solo teams.
We're a duo. So last night,
Oh, cool.
we were right about to go to bed, and Joey's like, "So are you sure we're a duo? Are you sure we're doing this as a duo?" And I'm like, "Who else are we going to do it with, Joey?"
So tell us.
We're Team Gravel Travel Dirt.
I want to hear about Cat Camp too. So that's all kind of related and pulled together. Do you want to dive deep?
Coming up on...
No, you guys do your things first, and then I'll
That's
talk
pretty
about
much all
Cat
I've
Camp.
got to talk about this week.
I
just did a
rode-
canal ride.
I did a 13-mile ride on Sunday. I made some good
Okay.
food. I was excited. I told Brian, I was like,
There's nothing even out there for me barking at. I don't think.
we're not gonna be able to... I guess you can edit this out anyway, but
No.
we're not going to be able to record here anymore.
No, I am not going to edit anything out. Blake, you are a substantial part of the podcast now. We're going to give him a mic is what we need to do. Or put a little
Let's
GoPro on him.
not give him a mic.
Like I'll put a little GoPro on him and let him run around during podcast time. It is amazing though how he is like full on asleep. Like we're sitting here and you would think that he would be up and about when we're eating dinner and having food and stuff, but instead it's as soon as podcast voices come on, he kind of goes a little nuts. But he's okay. It's okay.
I don't even know what we're talking about now.
You were talking about.
Oh yeah, I basically got like a free day home on Sunday, so I rode a whopping 13 miles.
It's all right.
Doesn't matter, Joey.
But then I gotta make a delicious dinner,
No.
so I just took the opportunity to smoke meat and
I
vegetables.
was going to say.
There was a long pause
That
there.
was a
I
very
wasn't at
long
the
pause.
Hootenanny.
Like, what are we smoking?
I know he had lots of plans for Hootenanny, but
Just
yeah.
pulled out the Traeger and made a nice meal.
Okay, let's talk about bikes. What'd you do?
was-
I want to hear about Cat Camp.
It was very nice to have a day home with Joey because, we don't really get a lot of them. So I took lots of naps because I was tired from Cat Camp. But
So Cat Camp was Thursday through Sunday, and
I
you
was
were there
tired
for
from my-
Friday and Saturday, right?
I was.
And tell us about Cat Camp.
So it was great. It was a really good experience. Like typical Thursday night, I was yelling at Joey saying I didn't want to go. Because it's, there's not many things I do without Joey on the bike.
Mhm.
Most of the things we do on bikes are together. So, so Friday we stayed in a hotel. We got up, did breakfast. We did breakfast at the hotel. I was doing solo because I didn't really know who was there yet.
Mhm.
And then on Friday, we got there and we did a 20-ish mile road ride.
Okay.
So there was a mechanic there. She checked over all the bikes before we went out. She did it every time before we went out, so it was very safe. And then we went on a road ride, and they're like, it's flat, it's flat, it's flat. And we are in Frederick, and it's not flat at all.
No.
So I was encouraging people to come down to ride by me or on the Eastern Shore where it is flat.
So where did Cat Camp take place?
It took place in Frederick, Maryland.
Okay. Yeah.
So we get back, we all go our different ways for lunch, and then we meet up again, and then we did a 20-ish mile gravel ride.
Okay.
It was supposed to be 20 to 40 gravel, but it was literally like right up a mountain.
Okay.
So it was like a 4-mile climb, a little loop on top, and then a 4-mile back down. I didn't do the whole thing, but I definitely learned how to. It was just a straight climb, and there's
Right.
no time where I've ever just straight climbed up a mountain on a gravel bike.
Okay.
Probably even on a road bike too.
That'll get you ready for unpaved.
Yes, but it was like there was like no down.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just going up and then, coming down slowly, executing well. The rocks were all different types of terrain. It was loose, and then it was much looser than I'm used to.
Okay. How would you compare it to Croatan?
Much looser.
Okay.
Like big rocky chunks.
Okay.
So we had like all types of weather.
On a candy scale.
On a candy scale.
Maybe like ho-ho cup, like cupcakes or ho-hos or...
Probably like cupcakes. Probably like cupcakes.
Cupcakes,
and there was like those bigger river rocks kind of thing. So really great experience. I would recommend Cat Camp to anybody. Next, I already told Nadine and Amanda we got to block out days so that we can go and enjoy the whole experience. It was really cool. The girls that were there were Cat Camp, were members of the Dirty Kitten racing team, and they were amazing women and female. And the group we rode with were a diverse group of women, and diverse in age, diverse in everything. So that was really cool. And then on Saturday, we woke up and we did a clinic, like an intro to cyclocross clinic, where we did like off-chamber turns. Camber, thank you. Sorry. We did off-camber turns. We did how to mount and dismount on cyclocross.
Okay.
And we did like bunny hopping, like doing that bunny hop on a bike to get over like sticks.
Did you go over like they have like the barriers on cross things?
We did not have barriers,
Okay.
but it was like intro to cyclocross, like level 1. Like the only experience I've ever had with cyclocross was when Joey did cyclocross on a road bike when he was working up at Parvella.
Got it.
And then we did lunch. We ate together. There was a nutrition talk. And then we did a Loudon? We did a ride in Loudon, Virginia, which was really it was a beautiful day. It was, the weather was all over the place. It was Maryland. We were in the mountains. It was snowing. It was sleeting. It was raining. A lot of rides got pushed back, all these things. It was very, very cold. I was not used to the colds because usually I would just ride inside if it was cold, but this was, outside. The Loudon ride, the ride in Virginia was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I took the shorter group because I wanted to get home so that Joey had enough time to pack the car up and stuff like that. But yeah, it was an amazing experience. Now you guys can ask all your silly questions.
So how did the Crux do?
Who hit you? Why you have so many bruises?
I have so many bruises because I fell a gazillion times. And
Did you really?
Oh, all the time.
Oh, then you bounce right back up. That's awesome.
But not like falling on like the rides, but like that cyclocross like introduction.
Oh, I was
like,
gonna say, if you didn't fall in the ride, you just fall down walking around the hotel.
Yeah. I fell a lot during that introduction. So that was I learned a little bit about tire pressure.
Okay.
So
Nice.
they're like, you got to take some tire pressure off. I'm like, it's not going to matter. And they're like, no.
Yeah,
I was like at like 60 or something, and they brought it down like a lot because we were like riding on grass and stuff.
like 35, 40 maybe?
These nice 2 girls were like guessing my pressure, and I was like, sweet kids, like, I don't even know what's in here. Like, I don't know. So
I had one goal for her, was to learn how to pump up her tires there.
I missed the mechanic class, which I was really, but
we should have our own mechanic.
yeah.
class.
So I have bruises because I fell a lot. I fell a lot partially in the riding off camber. Camber, riding off camber. That was difficult for me.
Did you guys go anything like sand pits or anything like that?
No sand pits. It
No
was
sand
like
pit.
in a high school, and they just took the front pot lot and we divided up and we did like stations like we would in teaching. And like we did mounting and dismounting, and then we did the riding up the hill thing, and then we did the like jumping over stick thing.
Cool.
I was very I ride so I can be calm or get to a place of calmness. And there was so much emotion during that cyclocross thing because I was like not getting it and then getting it. And then, it was brand new experience.
That's nice.
It was
That's
good.
Nice. That's nice.
And I wanted, if I was there another day, I would have taken the road one because there's still a lot of things I need to learn about road riding too. But having somebody there next to you, talking through everything, cheering you on was an incredible experience.
Now, how many people were there?
About 40.
Wow, that's a good number.
A really good number.
That's
there
awesome.
was a great group. It was a very community building. Like, how are we going to improve the sport of cycling? How are we going to improve the sport of cyclocross? And it was teaching these women who might not know anything about it, like me, the basics of how to clip on during a ride.
So now, 40 people. Did you like periodically throughout the day vote people out of cat
No,
camp?
there was no voting out.
Oh, that was fun.
There was no survivor voting out. No, that did not happen.
Any cat drama?
No cat drama.
No cat
The
drama.
women-
Very cat calm.
Very cat calm. The dog was walking around. Alex and Chris's dog, Pacho, Pachu, something like that.
Something like that.
And I gave it a little thing of cookies, like a little piece of cookie. So like the dog wanted to be around me, like when I was eating, and I was like loving it. And I was like, I have a shop dog too at home. Like so I would like walk it around on its leash. And because there was a few points where I was like, hey, can I just hang back and hang out with the dog? But you got to, it's like a power of the group.
Right.
The group is all going to do this ride in the sleet and riding up a mountain. You're going to do it too.
Right. And that's what it's all about. So did you bring anything home with you? Any takeaways? What'd you learn? Just,
I would like to do a beginning cyclocross.
Oh, okay.
I would love to get started with that. But I don't know anything around us. I don't know anybody who does cyclocross. I don't even know where to even start with that. But I would love to do that. I thought it was really cool. I like the challenge of it. But definitely something I would try in like the summer when I'm not teaching, because like right now when I'm teaching and I'm doing stuff, I get out for a ride on the weekend and I get out for some runs during the week, and that's pretty successful for me.
Cross is a huge fall thing. All over DC and Baltimore.
Yeah, it's a
That's
fall,
what people were
thing.
saying.
Yeah, you're not going to find it. So you're not going to find a cyclocross event in the summer. But
you meant in the fall. I thought you meant like falling down. Okay, I got you. I'm sorry.
Aren't they typically weekend things though? So you
it's a
really
big weekend. Within like a couple hours, if you take if you draw a circle around DC with a 2 mile or 2 hour radius, you could hit like 2 events every weekend.
So that was the cool part, is that all these people were like in the DMV area. Like I know like Girls Gone Graveling, which would have been a really cool experience, but I love the fact that I'm able to ride with some of these people. Like I was like, hey, we should meet up and ride at Proteus or something like that. Because there are people who are right out of Proteus and DC and Virginia and stuff like that I would love to get. And like, honestly, there's never been a time where I've rode with just 40 girls. How many people, how many females do we get on our average Joe? Like 4 or 5?
Yeah, it kind of ebbs and flows. There's sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less. And
on the women's ride,
the
once a year thing, we might get 40, but that's rare.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it was a really cool way of riding with 40 women. Like no men around besides Chris. Like, no, but like, what I'm trying to say? Like, it was a really cool experience. I'm going to save up personal days next year for that because I want to go more. I want to learn more. I want to get better. I don't want to get better at my hobby, but it's cool to learn new things. It was really
That's
cool.
a good way to put that.
Like you don't have to ever be good at your hobby. But
the day you stop learning is the day you want to find something else to do.
Exactly.
But you do want to actually continue to progress and learn because that's part
and
of the
I don't
point.
want to be the fastest rider. I just want to do it safely.
Yes, you do.
Like,
I
want to be fast. I was in the C group the entire time, and I had no shame in the C group.
You used to always want to be the fastest person on every ride.
And I'm trying. That's part of my compulsions. Part of my compulsions is being the best at all point in time.
She used to lead me on rides.
No, I know, like Unpaved, my goal at Unpaved was to finish it, and I was way in the back of the pack. And I felt good coming out of Croatan having finished mid-pack. So I understand that desire to kind of like
mid-pack media.
Get a little bit, just to elevate your game a little bit as you can.
Yeah, and maybe not stay so long in... It will feel better because I'm not so long in the saddle and I have really good endurance, but I'm only going to get faster if I ride with faster people. Yep. So I was putting myself in the C pace because I wanted to be comfortable the entire time. Next year, if I gain a little bit more confidence on the bike and with my Garmin and stuff like that, that I will try to push the pace a little bit more in B. Yeah. I just didn't want to get dropped. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know the routes. And it was a new experience not doing a ride with Joey. I've been fortunate enough to ride with Joey for the past 5 years. And most of the time we've ridden all together.
Well, you did a big chunk at unpaved without him, so that,
I did. It was, but he was there, like,
yeah,
so
yeah. I guess it is
we're,
different. Yeah.
Joey was explaining that, like, I'm slowly trying to move away from only doing bike rides with Joey.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cool. Do you guys want to talk any more about Growly Cat? Or are we going to hit that up next?
I don't know
week?
actually anything about Growly Cat.
Let's follow up with
therefore,
Growly Cat
I'm
next
just
week.
going.
Yeah,
I signed up for the 40.
So it's actually like a make your own ride thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like an adventure ride.
Exactly. But the thing that's advertised, because they talked about it at the thing, and it was like 100% gravel.
Mhm.
So my thing is I loved Cat Camp. I want Cat Camp to continue. I want to keep growing Cat Camp. I think it's awesome. So I want to support Alex and Chris in all their endeavors.
Cat Army.
So the Cat Army. So I was like, may I please go to Growly Cat like almost immediately because
Nice.
I want to support what they were doing. I think what they did was great for the sport and for
Itching like a cat.
I don't think that's it like that.
yeah.
Okay.
And I want like everybody there had like really cool color hair.
Oh, really? Are you going to color your hair now?
I want one girl had purple hair, one girl had pink hair, and I was like, if I was an honorary cat member, I would have like green streaks or something in my hair.
My youngest daughter, Camden, had like purple and like teal blue hair.
Yeah.
It's like it all ran together. It was
Yeah.
really pretty. She did that for a while in college. And
Yeah.
once she got out of college, she let that.
I would
Kinda go away.
dye my hair a color or like put like pink streaks in it or something like that because all the cool kids had it at Cat Camp.
I'm growing my hair out like Chris.
You are. Your hair's getting long. So before we get to Strava Club, I would like to follow back up and congratulate Kelly
Oh my
Catali
God.
on her first race of the season coming away as a victor. I tried to find the post that I saw, but I can't seem to put my hands on it, which race it was.
What an amazing person. She sent us our cat, her Cat socks, which was awesome. I did a run in them yesterday. And then she wrote this really sweet card. It's on our fridge, and just such an eloquent person. So I think she's awesome.
I'm still trying to find like where she was. There it is.
She was in
First-
Pennsylvania.
First race and first win of the 2022 race season was at Transylvania Productions Rattling Mountain Bike Marathon. So, good job. Congratulations, Kelly. Awesome.
Do you think she will teach me how to pee in a porta potty?
I think so. You said porta potty. You didn't say porta potty.
I know.
Are you? Oh, well, Cat Camp. Did you learn about porta potties at Cat Camp?
No, I didn't. I did not pee in any porta potties. But I did stop frequently at a Wawa. I love Wawa food, and we have no Wawa convenient to us.
Nope.
So I had like 3 full meals at Wawa.
Don't you think that a Wawa would kill it down here?
Yes.
Like South County?
Yes.
I think a Wawa would just absolutely go nuts.
I
down
would literally
here. Yeah,
give
I
a
agree.
kidney or something for a Wawa down here.
Yep, agree. Or Sheets, either one.
No,
Sheets is better.
I like Wawa coffee.
Sheets all the way. Let's go to Strava Club.
I don't Strava Club. Go ahead.
Oh.
I don't care which one it would be. I think we need something like that. down here.
Lame.
Joey, Strava Club.
All right. We have John's brother from Lewis, Delaware, Chris Rabbo, with 181.4. David Hunter from Richmond, Virginia, with 129.7. And Tim Scott, with 2 first names, from Arizona, with 164.1. We went up. We were up to 123.2 for the top 100. And we're at 815. We're
It's
almost
growing.
to mustache land.
It's growing.
Strava.com/clubs/gravel travel dirt.
Cool.
Also, I am having an alcoholic drink tonight, and Brian skips it because he doesn't drink anymore.
No, I didn't skip
But
it.
I got the new Patagonia Provisions in collaboration with Dogfish Head, the Kernza Pills.
That's a pretty can.
Perennial grain beer. It is freaking delicious.
Is it actually? It actually says Patagonia on it, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's
So it's
labeled and
officially
everything.
licensed.
Patagonia Provisions is like a whole side thing
Uh-huh.
for Patagonia. We're working with our friends at Dogfish Head to make a beer with revolutionary new grain. Kernza, a long-rooted perennial developed by the Land Institute. Besides the benefits of our ecosystem, Kernza adds a snappy crispiness to this refreshing Pilsner. Every sip you take helps us plant more Kurzna, fight the climate crisis, and brew more delicious beer.
What's
Cheers.
Kernza?
You
I
just
probably
read
said-
a beer bottle to us.
We do
Yeah,
that all
because
the
it's
time.
freaking cool.
Yeah.
And it's delicious. Like it says, it has that little like bitey crisp at the end.
Hmm? Did you get a
It's-
picture of that? The can for the cover?
Yeah,
We haven't put a beer can on a cover in a long time.
Yeah.
Let's do that. So we're going to talk a little bit about geeky bike things tonight. And Jess, this will be another opportunity for you to learn like Cat Camp.
I was going to ask if this was another opportunity for you to mute my mic, but I guess not.
No, because these are things that
Mike. I got a surprise at the end of this episode.
I think they're interesting. And I went down this rabbit hole of bike frame geometry. And I started to try to pick it apart myself, and I decided to stop because I found these resources, and then I wanted to actually talk to you about like some of the things that it meant. So what I did is I found two websites, geometrygeeks.bike. You can actually, both of these websites that I'm going to give you, you can do the same thing with. You take an actual bike and you can compare it to another bike or multiple other bikes, and it takes all of the different frame geometry numbers and gives you the differences, like where the numbers exist. So I could take a 56 frame, and I did this. They even had my Otso Warrican Titanium versus my 2017 Specialized Roubaix. I put them against each other to see where the differences were in the frame geometry, where the wheelbase and the chainstay length and all those different things. Now, geometrygeeks.bike just gives you the numbers. The second one is bikeinsights.com, and that gives you the numbers, but it also takes graphics of the bike and layers them over top of each other. So you can see visually where those differences are. And that one goes one step further, where you can actually put different wheel sizes and different tire sizes on and see how they lay against each other. So I could take my Otso Warrican Titanium and put my 650B 47s on that and then compare that to my Roubaix, or I could even compare it to my Otso Warrican Titanium with 738s as opposed to 650 47s or 750s. It's really kind of cool, but it's a rabbit hole, and you can go way, way, way down it. The question I have for you, Joe, we talked a little bit about this because I didn't want to catch you.
I'm looking at my Sequoia versus the Libre.
I did. See?
Update, I saw Joey's All City at Cat Camp.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It
just,
misses me.
just saying. I'm
Nice.
sorry. I just blurted that out. I'm so sorry. Go
Were
ahead.
the Love You Bye sticker still on it?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't look.
I hope
should
so.
check.
I hope so. That would be.
Supposedly it has blue wheels.
That was a
Tires.
part of the agreement, I think, for the purchase of that bike was that
Oh.
Love You Bye sticker had to stay on it. But anyway, Joey, my
Just kidding.
question was, like, what are like the top three things from a bike geometry perspective? Like, say you're evaluating a new bike. I know what kind of riding I want to do. I have even gone so far as to decide what frame material I'm looking for. And now I'm sort of comparing bikes. What are like the geometry things that might make a difference in how one bike rides versus another?
All right. First, color makes all the difference. If it's blue, it's faster, as Wes would say. No, I'm just kidding. I know nothing. That's it.
That's all you got?
No. How were we explaining this earlier? So you're looking at a gravel bike, obviously.
Yeah. So this was the example that I threw out there.
Yeah.
Say I'm looking for a touring bike as opposed to like a straight up gravel bike. Maybe a longer wheelbase, more stability to carry a load is an important thing.
Well,
versus-
yeah, I would say someone's looking for a touring bike. If we're looking at geometry, a little longer wheelbase, a little bit slacker geometry is generally what a lot of touring bikes are. Like built as a touring bike, not someone just taking a bike and making it they're touring on it. So like
if we were to take that idea of the longer wheelbase, slacker geometry might actually equate to something that's more akin to a touring mindset.
Yep.
So say I'm looking at two gravel bikes now, and one has a slightly longer wheelbase and one has a slightly shorter wheelbase, or there's a difference in the slackness of the geometry of like the
So it's times between a gravel bike and a touring bike. The front ends might be similar, like with head tube angle, stuff like that. Generally, the back ends will have a longer chainstay, which is like what we experimented with your Otto.
Mhm.
It's going to add stability, especially when you're adding weight. You're putting bags and stuff on. You have all that extra gear, so that little bit slacker back end is going to be for the for stability. For the long haul, it's going to be a little bit more comfortable for the rider. It's not going to be the fastest bike up the mountain, it's definitely slower. But you know that person's not doing it for one mountain pass or, you know, riding across country or doing a few hundred miles at a time.
So if you're looking for a bike that you can get multiple things out of, say that I wanted to be able to take that bike packing as well as run it in like a gravel race and perform, you know, admirably well with that bike, then something that's, if I'm looking at comparing two bikes, one with a slightly longer wheelbase might be a little bit more in tune with that style of riding.
Yeah. And there is a little, I don't know, I feel like I'm going to screw this one. There is a little bit of overlap with some categories of gravel bikes and touring bikes right now. There's like two categories of gravel bikes. You know, you have your 3Ts and your Cervelos and, you know, stuff people are racing on. And then you have your Sequoias and your Otsos and stuff like that. They're a little bit more slack, and they double up. They're like the modern day touring bike.
I just remember when I had my AWOL. It felt
your
like
AWOL was a freaking
it was massive. It felt like
18-wheeler.
Yeah, it felt like a Mack truck. You know, you were sitting up high on it, and so in addition to wheelbase and chainstay length, what are some other things that might have an impact?
So like I said, if you have a little bit slacker head tube angle, you know, it's going to stretch your wheelbase out a little bit. Gosh, dog. The bottom bracket heights are going to be something that some people are going to look at. You know, you get a little higher bottom bracket, your center of gravity goes up and whatnot too. So generally some of the some of the touring bikes have a pretty low bottom bracket, which, you know, same thing helps with nimbleness, snappy, stuff like that. Cyclocross bikes are going to have a really high bottom bracket, super nimble, not stable for what touring people are going to do. But in that aspect, a little bit lower bottom bracket height is going to make a big difference on a touring bike.
But you're not going to have the clearance like you would want in a cyclocross bike.
You should have, like I said, such a weird thing. Like, I'm trying to think of, in my head, there's no like brand new modern touring bike. Like there's that Trek, whatever, all the Trek people are.
I think touring bikes have become sort of like
your surly long haul trucker is like a staple touring bike.
Yeah.
Like that's like, I want to say almost one of the most popular bikes for touring in the world.
Sure. Absolutely.
Like, you know, that thing has like, freaking, you know, things to carry your extra spokes on the bike instead of just taping them and stuff like that.
They've also done things like stuck with a 26-inch wheel standard. So if you're international,
they have the 26 and
it's cantilever. You know, it's cantilever. It's, you know, different brake systems that are a little bit easier to work on.
I said I told you before I'm kind of bad, but that's generally like some of the things that make it different. Like I said, the modern day touring bike, like the Specialized Sequoia, is an awesome gravel bike, but I would consider that the modern day touring bike. Like that was even a huge jump from the AWOL to that bike. What Specialized did, the AWOL was pretty old school.
So, because what I'm seeing now, I mean, most of the tours that I lead are van supported, so people aren't touring necessarily; they're not carrying things. So they may have a rack and a small bag, but they're not loading up the bike like a self-contained traveler is. They're not, you know, doing 8, 9, 10 miles an hour trying to take a 40-pound pack up a steep incline or over a mountain or something like that. We're doing something a little different.
Yeah.
So that's a little different.
Sorry, I'm on the bike website.
That's okay. But that bikeinsights.com, I found it really cool to compare two things, to compare bikes that I have ridden, both now that I currently own as well as that I've ridden in the past, and compare the geometries, and then to take the same bike and also compare what changes visually with the different wheel sizes and tire sizes. It was really cool to actually kind of sit and play with that for a little bit.
Yeah. The biggest thing I see people come in and talk about is chainstay length. I feel like people are stuck on that one.
Why?
I don't know.
Just because it's
pathless
like
pedal or something.
Somebody's told them that. Yeah. You know, Russ just did a whole big thing on like gear length and
sometimes I think Russ needs to just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I hear some people come in. Russ said this. Russ said that. Yeah. No offense to Russ. I won't. Never mind. Russ needs to stop making YouTube videos about certain things.
Pathless pedal.
I used to be a Patreon supporter of him.
Yeah.
But that's what he does for a living. If he just wants to make multiple videos a week to get his views up, he's just gonna come up with whatever. But anyway,
he also does a lot of bikes that people aren't necessarily. He gets a lot of bikes sent to him.
He does. I just think some of his.
But also, it's like I don't. Some of those reviews on some of those bikes are bikes that the only way I would ever actually get my hands on a bike like that is if I actually went ahead and bought one. You know, because those are.
I'm not even talking about that. I just think some of his stuff is. Yeah. Anyway, YouTube videos. You got influencers. Got to do whatever to do. Got to make a living.
So,
but
the other website that I looked at was the gear calculator for gear links, and that is gear-calculator.com.
Yeah.
I found that was kind of cool to see the different gear links, and you set a bike up with different front rings. You can select 2x versus 1x. You can give it different cassette sizes, and it gives you your gear ratios and your gear inches. And, you know, thinking about it from a loaded bike perspective versus, you know, the top end wanting a little bit more speed, the 2x, the different steps between the different gears. It gives you a visual representation, so you can really easily see where the crossovers are. And if you have a lot of gears that are matching up versus if you wanted the ability to step between them, that's pretty kind of cool, the visual of it.
Blake's eating ice cream.
Well, he's been quiet. So
I've been using gear.calculator forever.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2015 I found out about it. And I thought it was the coolest. I mean, it's still really cool. I show a lot of customers that.
But it's visual, which is what
you can actually see it.
That's why I like the Bike Insights. It was the visual of the two frames loaded on top of each other, and also the gear calculator giving you the visual of where all the different steps are.
I pulled up Jess's Diverge and her Crux.
Where it really does make a difference when you look at gear calculator was when you compare 1x versus 2x, and you see the big steps that are in between.
Yeah.
You know, the differences. That's really the one big takeaway from a 1x. Its weakness is a smaller front ring, and you've only got one of them, and you may have this massive range in 11 speeds in the back, but you have got big steps between the gear length in each one of those cassettes. I think that's to visually see that. And then when you flip it up to a 2x, and you can actually see the broader range, which may not necessarily change from top to bottom, but you see all of the steps that you've got in the middle. So you can, if cadence is an important thing, then that's something that you could really benefit from seeing. And you can't, unless you ride the bike, you can't really see that.
Yeah, you can feel it.
I just thought it was interesting. A little geeky for a minute here. We don't do that very often, do we? We don't get real geeky.
It's good to talk about.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, you probably even picked up some stuff listening to it, talking about gear lengths and the different sizes and 1x versus 2x and different geometries and how they play out into your riding experience. I took the Athos and compared it to the Roubaix. I don't think the new Crux is there yet.
Yeah, it is. I got the new Crux.
I see the geometry of it.
So Jess's white bike is the Crux and the black is the Diverge.
And I can actually see I knew the black one was the Diverge because I knew it had the slanty frame in the front.
See? So you can actually see things visually on that chart where you can tell the difference in what's happening. Now here's what's really cool is if now, Jess, you've got the experience of riding both of those bikes.
Yeah.
And now you visually can see the differences in the frames. And then you in your mind can go, okay, when I rode the Diverge, I felt this way. And when I ride the Crux, I feel this way. And then looking at the geometry, you could begin to possibly, if you thought about it long enough, you wanted to take the time to do it, begin to connect the dots between like this geometry and this feel versus that geometry feeling something different.
Yeah, and I will, not to reference Cat Camp again, but I finally felt the difference between the tire pressure. Because of the tire pressure that was on the tire pressure that was on the
bike. Yeah.
On the
bike. Wheels. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. Anyway, do we want to talk any more about that? I don't know that there's much more to talk about. Joe, did you have anything on any of those topics before we do some this or that?
Just pick a good color.
Because that's all that really matters.
Yeah, that. But get out and try the bikes. Like one might sound great on paper until you actually
Yeah, but
If you can do
that's
it.
so hard to do these days, though.
Well, don't buy some one-off titanium
Well,
bike
I
at
get
a
it. I get
bike
it.
show from a hobo in overalls, and you'll be good.
Oh man!
Sorry, Nate. I love you.
I did not say that.
Hey, your
first-
bike feels amazing.
It really does.
Like getting on that Atso, there's nothing that compares.
I'm going to tell you with those 50s on there too. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness! You tell me you're jealous of those 750s running around.
Oh,
with
I am very jealous, and I've ridden it around with those, and it's just a cloud
Uh-huh.
with the red shift and the cambium saddle and 50s.
So good. Like,
Yeah.
like floating on air. Floating on air. You guys want to do this or that?
Yes, please.
Let's do this or that. First item, Jess, you're first.
I'm ready.
Pasta or pizza?
Pizza. I love pizza.
Wait a minute, but what kind of pizza?
It doesn't matter.
What?
I love pizza.
Like Maryland pizza?
I've given up pizza for way too
Litos.
long.
She likes Litos.
that
Litos. Okay.
I will eat any type of pizza.
Nice. Pizza definitely over pasta for me.
Right?
But and except for the night before a ride. But I have to be very careful not to do the pasta with lots of cheese, like the
Alfredo, Michael Scott.
But straight up like spaghetti and meatballs, or with like some tomato sauce, not necessarily meat sauce on the pasta. That would be my before a ride go to. But pizza over pasta when it's just
Always.
like a meal.
No,
Joey?
pizza over pasta.
All
Always.
the time? Okay.
Always.
Joey?
If it's good pasta, I'm going with pasta.
Yeah. Do you
I do love a good pizza.
homemade pasta though?
I don't know if couldn't tell you last time I had
Yeah.
homemade pasta.
Yeah.
Like we make homemade pierogies, dough wise, but a good carbonara or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I agree.
I do like a good pizza.
I can go. My thing is, I'm specifically thinking about the night before an event. It's going to be always
Ooh.
pasta and a lot of bread.
Alfredo shrimp pizza is very good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Actually does
White
sound
sauce
good.
pizza. No, I actually used to do a what was salsas before I went to salsas, Mexico or whatever?
Mexico, yeah.
Like pre-night before any big ride, whether it was like a race or doing seagull or something, I would get a large order of guacamole and a large bag of chips. No matter what, I'd eat that before anything.
Guacamole is a super fuel.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, guacamole.
I
and
could stomach all
avocado.
that
Mhm.
where I was physically at the time.
Yeah.
That was my pre-racer.
Second item, Jess.
I'm ready.
Walking up gravel hills in road cleats or riding flat pedals on a gravel climb.
So I love to walk. I love to walk up mountains. I feel like it's easier than riding up mountains. I got up a few times to walk, but they were like, get on your bike, get on your bike. I'm like, ugh.
You weren't in road cleats either.
I was in road cleats, right? Yeah, I have road cleats.
Not on her Crocs, right, Joey?
She has an SPD.
SPD or
She hasn't
SPDSL?
had SPDs mountain. I don't know the last time you had road set up on your tri bike. Maybe
Yeah.
They're big cleats on the bottom of road
Oh,
shoes.
those big red ones. Oh, yeah. Now
You still
I
have
know
on
what
your
you're
tri-bike?
I was gonna say I have them on my tri bike.
Big
Yeah,
red rocket
those
on the
are
bottom of your...
those are annoying. What was the second choice? Because I'm not walking up in those big old shoes.
Riding flat pedals up a gravel climb, meaning you're not clipped in at all. Going up a gravel
Oh,
climb.
this is tricky.
Yeah, isn't it?
Now that I know what I'm talking about, it's tricky. You know.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say the first one actually,
Walking the hills
with the
and
big
cliffs.
old red shoes. Yeah.
I would probably go riding the flats on the climb. I think walking in road cleats is just horrific. And especially if it's like big rocks, you would eventually end up slipping and falling.
Yeah.
I think.
They actually
And-
put a lot of pressure on my calves because it's like that.
Yeah, because your awkward
Yeah.
angle, and I don't think I would want to walk anywhere in road cleats. So I'm going to go with riding the flats on the climb, Joey.
I like riding flats now. I rode flats on our first fun ride this year, 25 miles.
Yeah.
And in boots.
So occasionally, if I'm doing like a towpath thing, I will throw cleats on for like a multi-day trip, just because you don't have to carry any extra shoes.
Flats.
Yeah, yeah.
You need those SPD sandals.
You know, I had some for a while. I've still got them.
Don't they make in the
They kind of fell
Crocs?
apart on me. I had some Keens.
Yeah, but
Keens that have the SPDs
Who did the
on
Crocs
bottom.
things?
I've actually got some Crocs that I would wear.
No, I mean with the SPD.
Oh.
Someone made that.
I don't know who. How would you even do that?
One
It
off.
would fall apart.
How would they know?
How would you know? The world would never know. Jess, boneless chicken wings or real deal chicken wings with bones?
I like chicken wings with bones.
Mm-hmm.
My brother, we went to an all-you-can-eat barbecue place for my 16th birthday, and my brother got boneless, and everybody made fun of him. Like, ooh, you just want to look at his little pretty hands dirty, you know?
Agree. Boneless chicken wings. It's not even a chicken wing anymore.
Yeah,
I think
what
it's
is
like
it?
I think it's like a cut of the chicken breast, and they've just like calling it a wing. So no.
Oh
No.
yeah, they take chunks of the thigh.
We're all going to be in agreement on this one. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
Really?
I'm just kidding. Just strike me now. There's nothing better than just some good old chicken wings.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love chicken wings.
Love
when
chicken
I was
wings.
paleo for a long time, like that's what my go-to was to eat like chicken wings at a restaurant.
Chicken wings and pasta and pizza. All
Chicken
with the
wings,
same
hot dog,
meal.
and bologna.
Chilling it
works.
with my homies.
Wrap a piece of bologna around a chicken wing.
He doesn't get it.
I don't
He
know
doesn't
either.
get it. I'm
I don't
sorry.
get it either. I'm sorry.
I had chicken nuggets at Popeyes today.
Did you? Were they spicy?
I wish.
Mm.
Very good though. If that's what a boneless chicken wing is, sure.
Now I do the chicken tenders down at Roy's. That's sort of one
Those
of
are
my
good.
favorite things. That's delicious. They're one of the
But-
best chicken tenders around.
Are they technically a chicken wing without having the wing?
No, I agree. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's not. It's basically a
Chicken
tender
nuggets.
that they're calling, or a chicken nugget that they're calling a wing. Last item, Jess. Text
ready.
message or phone call?
Text message. When
Text
people
message?
call me, I'm like, why are you calling me? Like, you know, like only my mom calls me.
I could go with text message as well. I find it very cumbersome anymore to talk to somebody on the phone.
But like, you only talk to your mom on the phone.
Yeah, that's probably. I talk to my daughters on the
Yeah,
phone. I
yeah.
talk to them on the phone.
Yeah, I was.
But
I-
actually, I guess it's them talking to one of their parents, so it's actually
yeah,
the
right.
same thing.
So
yeah.
it's kind of the same thing.
Joey.
Lately, just call me.
Yeah, I
I'm
knew
such
you
a
were going
bad
to say
texter.
that. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Call me, I'll probably pick up, or I'll call you back before I'm gonna text you back.
Whenever I really need to get hold of Joey, I don't text him. I call him, but he doesn't answer. But then he calls right back. He's like sees the missed call.
I need to leave my phone on noise mode, whatever you want to call that, during the
No,
day.
it's okay. It's all right.
Usually it's just like it's like in my apron pocket at work.
You're working. I'm just lazing about doing random things, and so you're
Yeah.
a busy man.
I've been in my car a lot the last 3 days.
If I need
So call
to
me.
see Joey, like need a Joey,
FaceTime.
I go to the shop.
Same.
I
he
go.
just shows up.
Yeah, I just
Both
go
of
in
you.
Same.
and just hang out and
Same.
just sit around and
Play fetch with Blake.
yep and just do nothing. So, I had a bike related question for you, and I've been meaning to ask it. So you retensioned my wheels. And I'm pretty sure this is normal, but I wanted to confirm the first few rides, they're going to ping, pop, ping, ping, ping,
A
ping,
couple
pop.
will. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought that
I
was
try to
normal.
de-stress them, but occasionally you just need like all 200
it did.
pounds of you.
It did. It like the first time I got on it, it was like lots of pings, lots and lots. Second time I rode it, it was less. And then I think the last time I rode it, I didn't notice it at all. But and I thought that was the case. I remembered from having it done before that happens whenever you kind of like retension all the spokes. There's like a settle in period, and they're going to pop and ping and make lots of noise.
And I rode around the parking lot. There's a way to do it out of the chewing stand.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I'm looking at my Sequoia versus my Libre.
Mm-hmm.
On the
You
thing.
like
It's pretty
you're,
cool.
you're liking that website,
Yeah,
aren't
it's
you?
cool.
I'll
Just to
put
see it on paper, see it like
visually.
visually.
It's cool. It's cool. And I think if you've ridden a couple of different bikes and you may not even remember the geometry or how a frame was set up on an older bike, but when you go put it into something like that and compare it to what you're riding today, I think
Yeah.
you can start to visualize the differences. It's really a very, very cool website.
Yeah.
I'm going to put links to all three of those websites in the show notes. Got anything else before we shut it down? Nope. Nothing heard.
Negative Ghost Rider.
It is about time to shut this thing down. Then Blake will be happy. He'll get some quiet time
Yeah,
now.
he's gonna go sleep. So long. Farewell.
You know what Blake actually needs? He needs a jersey from Cutaway. I bet you that Philip could make a banging dog jersey. If you're going to put him on the bike and put him in the cart
Oh
thing,
yeah, I got in one of those. I got a trailer last week to try out to ride him.
I bet you Cutaway USA could make a really good Blake size.
The guy did it at Croatown. He rode with his dog in the back.
And
Dog have a jersey on.
the
No,
dog,
he had goggles.
the dog had goggles on, but he also had like a vest thing on.
He did
He
because it
had-
was strapped into the cart carrier.
because he
He actually is training to be a pro bike rider.
the dog is?
No,
Oh, okay. All right. I wasn't sure. He was riding Natso brother.
the dog was.
No, the guy.
I figured
was
I'd just do it right back to you.
You know what would have been cool? The dog on the recumbent.
Yeah, that
in the
would have
back.
been cool. That would have been cool.
The dog riding the recumbent.
Hey, thanks everybody for listening to this episode of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt and Blake. If you enjoyed the podcast, then maybe consider joining us on our Patreon family to get. We could use a little bit of money to buy more dog biscuit things to keep Blake quiet during the podcast.
Ben and Jerry's ice cream I use.
There's potentially that's going towards some in the fall.
Yes, we're thinking about a big fall
event.
Big fall something. We're not going to share anything with that yet, but we're going to keep that very quiet. You said you had big news towards the end of the podcast.
No, just trying to keep people here to the end.
God.
No, I what I'll do is I'll use Instagram later because I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Joey, how can folks get in touch with us?
Like always, you can come down and actually touch me at my store, Patuxent Adventure Center.
Above the counter, though, please.
Because that's what Brian does. He comes and, like you said, you can't see me. GravelTravelDirt.com, where Calvert Design Groups wonderfully updates that every hour on the hour.
I stay right
Instagram
on top of it.
is at Mid-Atlantic GTD.
Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt is recorded this week from right here in Blake's kitchen. Thanks for riding along, everybody. But until next time, do good, be nice, go slow. Respect
Love
others.
you, bye.
You jumped my respect others.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.